Hobbit holes here. Only 39 were here for the filming of Lord of the Rings, and they were rebuilt in 2009 with an extra 5 Hobbit holes for the filming of The Hobbit. Now this might be a stupid question to ask, but who here has seen the Lord of the Rings movies? Raise your hand. Anyone seen The Hobbit? Anyone read the books? Anyone here who hasn't read any of the books or seen any of the movies? So another way they can use to make the actors at the size of their different characters is having different sized hobbit holes. The one just here to your left is 60% scale, but the two we walked past behind the hedge there are 90% scale. So by having the larger doors, it means that actors playing hobbits can stand next to them and look the perfect size. And then with the smaller doors, Gandalf can stand next to these ones, gives the impression he is much larger than the hobbits are. Jumps over that fence into the vegetable garden, and eventually he runs through the cutting behind you. Does anyone know what Bilbo yells as he's running on through there? Anyone brave enough to admit that they know what he yells?
I'm going on an adventure.
Exactly. Bilbo yells, I'm going on an adventure, and running through there. I think it's more when I'm doing pool. This is Bag End. This is where Bilbo and Frodo live. And if you have a look at the door, you can see it is open and it appears to be furnished. However, this is just an illusion. The wall you can see stops just behind the door, but it means they can fit a camera and crew inside there, film, look out over this landscape, and if the camera accidentally sees the corner of the hobbit hole, they can pretend it is a real one. So in the studios in Wellington, they had to build the interior for the hobbit hole, and they built two different versions. So they built a large one for Bilbo and a small one for Gandalf. So in the very first Lord of the Rings film, Gandalf walks into Bag End and he bangs his head on a chandelier. That was on purpose. When he then turns around and bangs his head on the door frame, that was a complete accident. They kept it in as it does demonstrate the difference in size between Gandalf and the hobbits. And if you listen carefully as Ian McKellen bangs his head, you can hear someone laughing behind the camera at the same time. Now the bench here is where Bilbo sits. He's smoking his pipe in the very first Hobbit film. Gandalf comes along and he asks him to go on an adventure. Now one of the perspective tricks they use in this scene is that whenever the camera is pointing at Bilbo, it's always looking down at him. And whenever the camera is pointing at Gandalf, it's always looking up, making him look that much bigger than Bilbo.
What do you mean?
Downhill. It's even here. Now around the maple.
They were too short.
Too short.